Global Crossing has emerged from bankruptcy. After spending nearly 2 years reorganizing in Chapter 11, the telecom firm has a new board of directors, new top executives. It's cut its workforce in half, moved its headquarters, slashed its long-term debt from $11 billion to just $200 million, and, of course, slashed its shareholders out of existence. So are the company's problems all in the past? Joining us first on CNBC, Global Crossing CEO John Legere. Good morning. Thank you very much for being with us.
Good morning. Glad to be here.
Well, it must be an exciting day for you.
Well, 681 days of Chapter 11 was quite a long time for our employees. So it's a very exciting day for them and for our customers who have been waiting to do more business with us, I hope.
How, in terms of business, and what you want to do, how does the new Global Crossing differ from the old one?
Well, you know, this restructuring, it's been actually 24 months that my team and I have been working on it. And just to give you a couple ideas, two things. One is we're much financially stronger than we were. You talked about the debt. But services revenue, recurring services revenue in 2001 was just over $3 billion. Prices were coming down about 2% a month in some sectors. We exited some businesses. But in 2002, we ended with just under 2.9. So we kept our customers. But I was able to reduce operating expenses 63%, 175 million a month down to 58. CapEx in 2001 had gotten as high as 4.1 billion, including Asia Global Crossing. This year, less than 200 million. Now, interestingly, we had as many as 17,000 employees at one point, including Global Marine. Now we have 4,300, but customer satisfaction's up 20%. Provisioning time has gone from 69 days to 18 days. Days sales outstanding from 70 to 50. 5 nines of reliability on our network instead of 4, and this company's all about IP, and the world's more ready for IP than it was when we came in. So it's going to be a very exciting time.
Now, you're still focused on the business customer, isn't that right?
Well, you know, Global Crossing was known in the beginning of selling capacity to carriers.
Right.
Right now, we're focused kind of equally on carriers and on multinational enterprises, but it's all around a 500-city, 50-country Internet Protocol network. I mean, this is an MPLS fully mesh network, burnt on fiber, no multi-protocol stack, and then IP on top. Do you know right now we're doing 2 billion minutes a month of VoIP traffic?
Now,
16%
voice over Internet Protocol. Now, prices continue, though, to come down, and that was certainly something that the old Global Crossing had to deal with as well. How do you deal with that?
Well, prices are coming down. You see, the big pain in pricing a lot of times is from people that are selling legacy services, watching the price decline because of cost declines, because we're moving to next-generation IP services. Our network was built for native IP services. So, yeah, in our voice business, prices are coming down, but we've gone from 150 million minutes a month to 2 billion. 30% of our traffic on voice is on IP. It's much cheaper, much more efficient. So it's not really hurting us. Margins are stable. I mean, we're not raising margins right now, so we've got to be competitive, but I think we've got a good cost structure.
Now, John, you mentioned 24 months in the making, and you've managed to stay on as CEO. Typically, when a company goes through the turbulence this company has, and when creditors take control, right, they usually get rid of management, regardless, even if they were brought in at the last moment. Right. How have you managed to?
Well, I think a couple times on this show, I might have been suggested that was coming.
So you've navigated this, and you were still CEO.
You know, I came in October 2001. I was here about 100 days before we had to use Chapter 11 to restructure the company. Brought my team in. The team's been there throughout the time period. So I think we've proved ourselves through what we've done to save the company. However, last night, only last night, my bankruptcy lawyer said, you know, one thing, John, we forgot to tell you is usually 8 out of 10 CEOs don't make it through bankruptcy, so congratulations. But I am happy. I do have a new agreement with Singapore Technologies Telemedia, and I will be staying on to run the company.
And they, of course, are the majority shareholder, owning about 61%
That's right.
Of the overall company.
That's right. 61.5% and then 38.5% to the creditors. We will trade over the counter today. We'll be on the NASDAQ within a couple of weeks since we did file yesterday, day before, catch-up 10Ks for audited results, clean results for 2001 and 2002.
Does the CapEx coming down to 200 million tell us that you still have overcapacity issues?
No, it tells you that we finished building our network, and it tells you that what we're spending CapEx on is good CapEx. It's success-based variable CapEx to bring customers onto our network. And an interesting point, this capacity oversupply question, most of that always was North America, and it was fiber in the ground. Not necessarily globally, and not at all at the IP layer. So, yeah, there's still some capacity, although with things growing the way they are, IP traffic, by the way, is growing about 180%. We're growing 160%. We're going to have to recheck that supply question as we go forward, but, you know, not necessarily globally.
IP traffic growing 80% year over year.
80% IP, 80% VoIP. Our IP business is up to 68 gigabits of IP traffic on our network, which is growing 160%, and in the period of restructuring, sixfold. So one of the things people are going to have to hear, we are IP, and a great offer. You see, we're not a threat to some of the big players. Because if you can, some of these non-traditional ways to take what used to be fixed line telecommunications from the house, like Vonage is a great customer of ours, you take it to us, we have an offer called VoIP termination. If you can bring it to us at our POP in any form, we can take it the rest of the world. So a small player can change the game in the local loop, but by the way, a big player can change the game by connecting to us and change this whole regime. So it's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
Where do you see your cash flow? Because there's some telecom companies that just have incredible cash flow, like Nextel now, and Wall Street's becoming really obsessed with that in your industry.
Right. We're not cash flow positive yet. However, I'll tell you one fascinating point that I'm happy about today. We had $965 million worth of cash when we entered Chapter 11. We took a $250 million investment. Any guesses on how much we spent on lawyers and advisors?
How much?
More than $250 million.
Sure.
That ended yesterday, so that's a little bit of a help.
No wonder you're smiling.
Yeah, so we're still burning some cash. However, it's much closer than it was. We are right over the top of being EBITDA positive. 2004, we got a little bit more work to do, but going into 05, we'll talk about where we're going to be on that front.
Well, best of luck to you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your time. John Legere, CEO of the new revivified Global Crossing. Up next, David Faber takes a look at this morning's early move.